Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we actually have people tuning in to see us. Do you believe it? We teased we'd have a special guest this morning. While he won't be here all the time with me and Smitty, we do have the man behind the projections, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike.
Thanks, Trevor. Not sure if I'm so much of a legend. That infers that I might be old. So first up, I just want to kick off with like a thank you and a welcome to those that have. There's been a number of people that were around in 2020 when we launched the site, and then they just kind of disappeared for a while for whatever reasons. There's been a lot of those that have come back. So I thank you for that. There's a lot of new folks that are just now seeing the site for the first time over the past few days or weeks. So I'll also thank you for that. We had a lot of DFS content in the past, still do, of course, that's still continuing to grow, but also branching out into the wagering or betting markets and also with the season-long fantasy. So for those that are in NFBC, Fantrax, Yahoo, ESPN leagues, those types of things. We're going to have more tools for you going forward, starting to build those out now. Made a lot of good progress just in the past 2 months with some of those tools. So the sky's the limit on what we can build. If you have ideas, suggestions, thoughts, shoot them at me, and I'll do what I can to build the things that you need to be successful in whatever your hobbies are. So appreciate it. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the experts.
Well, for those of you that aren't on our Discord and haven't been watching, Smitty's been crushing the NBA this season. He's been posting them winning screenshots. Smitty and I have a little bit different approaches. So you're going to hear betting from me season long, and I'm a single entry 3 max player. I'm not doing multi-entry. Smitty's going to be that guy for you. I'm happy to answer questions on it, but that's not my specialty. I'm good at single entry and 3 max. And every time I try to go MME, I just light my money on fire. So I've found now over the years, stick with what I'm good at. I also love showdowns. If you guys were in last year, you saw when I was in states I could play in. I took a couple decent showdowns last year on Sunday nights. So we're excited for this season. And Smitty, how we feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling good. I've been looking at the slate for a couple days now and just starting to get some lineups across, so that feels pretty good.
I agree. I'm excited, right? Opening day. We talked about that, right? And as betting continues to grow, I talked about this. I just got to give this up front. Remember, everybody, don't go nuts today when you see all these people on socials doing stuff like you saw the guy, like, I'm fading the Dodgers every game this year, right? They're just they're just saying, making shit up at this point. Like, guard your bankroll, right? We want to see stuff. But there's some spots today we like, and we're going to talk about it. So, I'm going to share our screen here so we can start looking. So keep in mind, guys, this weekend, everything is free at the site. I'm going to show you a bunch of the different stuff we can do, work with, and kind of all that fun stuff. So this, and it's not showing us all. Like, our first technical difficulty. Nope, that's 2. Where's the 3? Let's get us all there. And the kids move my stuff. Bear with us.
User error. That's not site error.
Oh, yeah. No, they changed my layout screen here for the 3. So hold on. Nope.
Still doing better than I would.
There we go. So I gotta adjust this. They took the share 3 away on my settings. I gotta change some of the settings in here. So but let's go up to this, right? So as you can see, first, one of the greatest additions to this website for me this year, while it might be little, as lineups go, you get, hey, projections are started, lineups are confirmed. I can close all my notifications. So, Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
It's the little things.
Yeah, that was a request of me. So that's there. But this is our standard projection page layout. I'm on the DK main slate. We'll start there. Brandon and I also play a ton at FanDuel, so we'll talk about FanDuel as well. You'll see we have the lineup over here for generating them, how many you want to do. When we want to get technical through the season, we'll kind of break that down. But we're just going to give you a big slate overview today. Nothing too deep, nothing insane. We want to feed, though, because we're excited. As you go down, you'll see we have a breakdown of the stacks today, right? We got some Reds lineup, so we know what's coming. We know what ownership averages are. You can see, the points per dollar. And that'll all be broke down through here. And that's, one of my favorite tools. It wouldn't be a moonshot without our daily launch menu. For those that were here last year and followed us, you will know I did fairly well at home run props last year. And it's due to Mike crushing the data. We have our whiffers row, and don't forget about our theft report and doubles, but we'll show that. And for those in Florida, Mike got Hard Rock added, so you guys can see that there. So let's go back, and I'm gonna remove this real quick. Let's talk about the slate a little bit. Opening day, we know what the chalk is, right? Like, we know the Cincy game is gonna be the chalk. Like, there's just no way around it. Where else do you think today, Smitty, that we could see some high ownership? What games are you looking at here?
As far as ownership, I think the Astros are going to come in a little higher than people are projecting because of their team total, and I also think the Dodgers will get some ownership, but I don't know about a 5-man stack just because they're so expensive. So I think those two teams will get some ownership.
Yeah, it's right. You're gonna want Dodgers all season, but they're already priced like
Yep.
We're in the month of May, and they just came out the gate and said, "Hey, you guys aren't stacking 5-man Dodger teams and finding anybody else to play." So I'll tell you right now, like, the team I'm looking at today that I really like outside of those that I want to target is Detroit. I like this young Tigers lineup. I want to see where they kind of land on some of the guys, but to get the White Sox, we know the White Sox is a good hitting park, and I really like being able to go after Detroit today. I think that's going to be a good way to get some of the more expensive bats that you want in. And pitching wise, that for me is kind of what I feel like is a little bit stronger side for me. That's a spot there that we want to see, and they're expensive. Like, they came out the gate on here, and if you want the stud, you're paying for them, right? Like, Scooble's 9,100, Glasgow's 95, Lopez is 93, Cole's 87. That's we're paying up for them, right? And if you got, the question is if you're playing MME, do you got the stones to throw Frankie Montaz against the Sox today at the Great American Ballpark, Smitty?
I don't hate it really, but I don't know. When it comes to MME, like you said, you mentioned the Tigers. I love the Tigers today. It's probably my favorite stack on the slate. Everything considered, ownership, price, everything you could fit with the Tigers. I think they're probably my top stack on the slate. Hopefully we get a good lineup from them. But when it comes to lower owned pitchers that I could get behind in MME, I think I wouldn't mind Nestor Cortez, just some shares. He looked okay in spring training, and we know he has some strikeout upside, so I don't hate going there.
Yeah, as I'm looking at ownership right now, I'm going to share this real quick, right? As we're looking at ownership here, I'll tell you what, if Luzardo really comes in anywhere near this, I'm throwing some Pirates bats in there. Like, just on principle. Like, you guys will find as we get going, right? This is going to adjust. They're just getting filled. But on the opposite side, Mitch Keller, if we get Mitch Keller sub 10%, right? Like, I love me some Keller at sub 10%. And it's, it's one of those days that, hey, it's there. We're going to see it, but do I really want a 50% owned Screwball at, $9,100? Probably not. For me, and, single entry, 3 max, I probably won't go there just because of his price. Like, I'd rather get a 16% Pablo at 93. What do you think there, Smitty?
Yeah, I'm with that too. And I kind of mentioned part of that in my article, like opening day. These pitchers aren't going to go long, so they're probably not worth the salary you're paying. As far as Pablo, though, I do like that. And I forgot to mention Zach Eflin. I really like Eflin.
Yeah, and they're coming in right now at, he's coming in sub 5%. Again, at his price, right? He's $7,300 today, guys, at DK. Like that, that'll let you get the bats in that you want. So we're going there.
Give me 15
What about you,
points.
Mike? What about your Homer Twins? What are you thinking on your Twins today?
Honestly, I was speaking of Pablo Lopez. I almost kind of like some of the Royals bats as one-offs. Kind of to Smitty's point, you don't see these starting pitchers going as long, but I also think that with the ownerships that we're kind of seeing now, you can easily get 1 or 2 or 3 of those Royals bats in there. Wind's blowing out in Kansas City. They might get a tough Twins bullpen, but I think the leverage is there if you want to roll a couple Royals in.
So let's talk about that, right? Like, I'm going to show the screen here real quick. Here's one of the cool things that this is like my homepage, basically, for all of you that are watching us and not listening, for you that are turning in live to the stream. This is my page. We can see the humidity. We can see the wind. We're going to know who the umpire is. We even have the odds here. So, right, we're looking at that. I love this page. This is one of my favorite pages on the site. I'll have multiple tabs open, but, we start looking like, hey, we got a 14-mile-an-hour wind. Like, I'm starting to like that a little bit. We know humidity doesn't really matter down in the Marlins part because they're inside per se, but right, like, as we start looking at stuff, and you can look too for precipitation, right? We know we already got some big games canceled today. But this is my page I love. Because as we start going through, right, like, I'm looking at the Team K percentage, looking forward to the 20s. Where are the 20s at right now? Hey, they're only 20%. If they're green this season, that'll be a miracle. I love to tap.
One thing to point out on that too, Trevor, is back on that page too, that I think it's overlooked is that data there that you're seeing. That's the 9 guys in that projected or confirmed lineup too. So that's like that's current data, accurate data based on those 9 guys, not like what the Twins team or Royals team did in 2023. That's the 9 guys that were projecting or confirmed for today.
Yep. And as you scroll over, you can start looking. You can look at them versus left-handed bats versus right-handed bats. This is my favorite area. For the last 2 weeks as we're through season, we can see what they're doing. The data in there makes it really easy to access. This is just one of my absolute favorite pages. And then we'll go over, right, and my next one that a tab you'll see me have open all the time for those that know and ask me, right, like, K props are kind of my bread and butter, right? I'm looking at this page, right? I'm looking at the breakdown. I'm looking at the matchups. You can tag that up in here, go to the other matchups. You can look at the different contests, but this is one of my main pages. I'm attacking there to look at that. So that's a favorite spot for me as well. Going through there. So what about you, Smitty? I'm gonna let Smitty walk through and him talk about some of his favorite spots here.
All right. I love the matchups page. Like Trevor mentioned, I love that part. One big thing I use as far as daily fantasy is, of course, the stacks tab. You can see the highest projected stacks. But one thing I like sorting by is expected home runs. So this averages, Mike can correct me if I'm wrong, but this will average the whole starting lineup, their expected home runs, which is, it's our launch menu. You can see it right here. But the expected home runs, and you can find a lot of lower owned teams, or you can find high owned teams that have low power upside that I'm not scared to fade. You could just sort by that and then look at your ownership aggregate or the ownership total. So like right here, I mentioned the Rays. You can find the Rays. They're low owned, but if you sort by, but they're also the fifth highest expected home runs. So that's a pretty good stack to target, and also the Yankees. So I like looking at that page. Of course, everything on here is great, but I look at the matchups, and then once we get the data like Trevor was showing, I love looking at this too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite spots in there. So I'm going to show one other one too, where this is just another tab for those of you that want to see an easy access every day to lineups. So this is great. We got the Reds lineup. I love the Reds lineup today. When you guys are going through on this lineup page, you'll see, if you see the ball next to them, that's their moonshot. So as you can see, the the Reds project very well today in the Great Americans ballpark. So hard not to like them today, but up top, you'll see what they're doing. The pitchers doing versus righties versus lefties. We know Mr. Josiah tends to walk a few people. And I love this too for a quick glance as I'm going through. I use this for my season long as well. And we'll talk a little bit about the season long projections here in a minute, but I also use this for that. Like I'm looking at, hey, what are good matchups today? Because I used to, for years, I lived in Arizona. I couldn't play the NFC. And so for years, I wasn't able to play at NFC. So I was playing like daily stuff at Fantrax, daily stuff at Yahoo. And so I used this tab all the time to go through there. So now though, I want to break down some cool stuff here. Let's go to some of the new stuff here. So, right, as we go into, you'll see stat tools up here, right? There, guys, there is a lot of data here. You'll see we have our new projections weekly. We have our probable pitchers board, our weekly schedule, our trends, games by position. We have full schedule pitching rotations, guys. Then we break down hitter splits, pitcher splits. Everything is there for you. We're giving you one-stop shopping. That's what I love here for everybody. But one of my favorite things that Mike has built this year is our odds board, right? So we can go in, we can look at the odds board real quick. And if you start looking up here, we can start looking at, we can look at hits, doubles, home runs, stolen bases, strikeouts. So let's take a look at that, right? So, I know, quick glance, I can go over and say, Wood pitching today, this is what he's got. I'm using that as we go through there. So that's a favorite spot. And then this is the tool I'm excited about, guys. This is the tool that's 100% going behind the paywall after the weekend. But Mike built a range of outcomes this weekend, right? So we have a probability here based on today's matchup. And this is going to give us, odds probability on ladders for these guys. So we're able to look in, take a look and say, Luzardo, should get there. And I'll tell you, and I was here before I even started looking, but I'm under, as Smitty was talking about, a lot of the pitcher strikeouts today. They're just not going to go as long to start the season. So I'm an unders guys out of the board, but this is going to help you guys that you wanted to gen and ladder with me this season. So shout out to Mike for building that incredible tool. I'm excited to use it all year.
Yeah, and that odds board too is going to evolve. So we'll have more markets as sports books become more available to me. Those will be added. I know Bet365 has been a common request. That's not available for me to consume yet from the provider. Once that's available, that'll be one of the first ones I hook up. But yeah, we'll get total bases in there and some other markets as well. And then there's some refining I got to do to that page to make it a little more user friendly anyway. So look for that odds board to kind of evolve and become better than what it is today.
Awesome. So I'm gonna add this back real quick, and I'm gonna have it's my screen, but I'm gonna have Mike tell me where to go. So walk me through, Mike, what you want, some of the stuff you want to show off here right now.
Let's do this real quick. Switch. I know you're gonna kill me here. Switch to light mode for a moment.
Oh my gosh, no, absolutely not. Zero. Okay, for those that don't know us well enough, and you'll hear this. This is one of my favorite sayings. I would rather lick the floor of a strip club than use light mode, but I will do it for Mike today.
Just to showcase, we do have light theme and dark theme or light mode, and you can.
Yeah. So if you guys see, like, let me stop this here real quick. So if you see down here at the bottom, you'll see where my mouse is. There's a little light mode there for you. We can switch over to light mode. Oh, it's so gross. I hate light mode like the Yankees hate paying for starting pitching. So,
all right,
cool. So tell me which way you want me to go here.
Yeah, if you would just click one of those tiles up top, the game tiles, and those are kind of scattered throughout different places on the site. So we have those are like on the lineups page, on the dashboard matchups page, on the projections. They're everywhere. So when you see those, you can click those and it drills you into that particular game. Like, so you can see that pitcher, their lefty righty splits, and then that lineup, whether it's projected or confirmed, and then their splits based on that starting pitcher hand. There's two things that I really like about this page, and this is more for those that like to go in and kind of look at the data and kind of dissect. Some of the things I'll talk through here in the next minute or two these are already baked in like projections. So if you're looking for the answers to the test, just use the projections. But there's people that like to go into the things like what's kind of driving that. So on here, if you could scroll over to the right on that top grid, Trevor.
All right, hold on. I got to go down here. It's a little harder when I'm when I'm in. Because I'm in.
I got you. Yeah,
present.
No problem.
Hold on one sec. I got to get out of present to do it.
Okay.
It's a pain in the ass when I'm in present mode.
No problem. And for those of us that have joined, again, thank you. While Trevor's getting that fired up, thanks for joining, for taking a look. Thanks for bearing with us as we work through. This is our first stream together, so we'll improve on these. We'll showcase some of the cool tools and features, and certainly when we have new stuff, we'll showcase that as well.
Hold on one sec. I gotta stop sharing for a sec to make it work. I'm having an issue with Firefox.
Trevor's paid by the hour, by the way. So.
Mike, did you see that Twins lineup?
No, I haven't seen the Twins lineup. I don't know.
Buxton's leading off, but they got Jeffers in the 2-hole.
Oh wow,
it's kind of different.
Yeah.
Did you just say they put Jeffries in the 2-hole?
Jeffers, yeah.
Ryan Jeffries.
Yep.
I'm just making sure here. Okay.
Royce is third.
And if you can't get it, Trevor, I can fire up.
No, I got it now. I had to take out and stop it and reshare it. So share screen.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Give me one sec here. Sorry guys. I know you want to see the goods here. So all right, here we go. So allow. All right, we're back now.
Cool.
So I got it. I just had to make an adjustment. So you can see if you scroll. I can scroll over here now. So
yeah. So it's that section, the barrel and home run metrics by zone. This is interesting in that you can really drill in and see like tendencies, like where pitchers tend to pitch, like if they tend to like live down in the zone, up in the zone, middle zone. And some are down in zone to lefties and maybe up in zone to righties, depending on their pitch type of their arsenal or repertoire or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So that's kind of called out here too. And so what we can see here is like with the reds and the greens and the shades of reds and greens in between, just how much success or lack of success they might have in that zone when it comes to like barrel rates. And then conversely for the hitters, Mike Trout, notorious low ball hitter. He hits low balls really well, or low pitches very well. Some guys don't. So this really helps to identify if we're targeting like home runs and strikeouts are kings, right? So if we're targeting home runs, this is a really key data point to look at. It's like if a pitcher they notoriously pitch down in the zone and you've got a lineup that hits, pitches down in the zone really, really well, they barrel these things. That's a recipe for success. Typically, that puts you in a good spot. And then moving down into that bottom grid, like Trevor was just doing there, also with the arsenal here. So, and it's a little tough for me to see the screen. So what you can do here is just on those pitch counts there where you have the lefty righty for the pitcher. right? If you just click one of those over on the left. Sorry, Trevor.
Oh, you want me to do like
the blue
which one do
links
you want
there.
me to? I was doing like chase. I was doing like chase percentage.
Oh yeah, no problem. So see where it has the pitch counts for lefties? Those are the number of pitches that are thrown to lefties or righties based on that pitch type. Go ahead and just click one of those. And what this will do is this will filter out. So it'll filter out the left-handed batters, and then you see how they fare against that particular pitch type. And then you can kind of, it's a little bit of an eye test here. You kind of have to get used to how to look at this grid, because if you kind of follow it across, it's like you can see, how that pitcher throws sliders to right-handers, what its success is, and then also how those hitters in that lineup fare against those types of pitches from lefties or righties. So again, you kind of have to train your eye on reading this data, reading this grid, but the data is pretty useful. And again, a lot of the stuff's baked into the projections as well. So, and then see, there's some questions in chat. Maybe I should.
Yeah, so we got some questions here. I'll kind of let Mike walk you guys through this and see. So I'll have him talk you through how to do this here.
It's a possible boost of player and projections or debuts. Eggs, no, currently there's not. Well,
yeah,
yes and no. There's what you can do is you can change the projected points if that's what you're referring to, but we don't have like click the thumbs up 4 times to make them more boostable than 3 thumbs up. We don't have that, but if you want to, you can change the projection or the projected points just by clicking in the projected points cell, I guess is what you call it. And you can alter the projected points for that player.
So and I think that's where Smitty was going with it. Well, I'll let Smitty talk first. What do you do with that, Smitty? Because we probably do the exact same thing when we want to boost somebody.
Yeah, I'll normally I'll just boost. I'll go to where we have the projections.
Yep.
And boost who I want or who I don't want, just depending on that. Or if a player's popular, I want to get less of, I'll just bring his projection down.
Yeah, so we can, Carnage. So basically, we just go into the projection page here. So I'll go back to that real quick, like go back to projections. And me and Smitty do the exact same thing, right? If there's a guy we want to do it with, it's just really easy, right? So we go back and I'll adjust his projection up, right? Or down a little bit versus going through there. And the other thing, like seeing when you get into the optimizer over here, we'll do a little more about the opto over the weekend. We don't want to keep you guys all day today. But you can start, picking stacks here. So you can see like, hey, I want a Detroit 4-man stack today. I want a Detroit 5-man stack today. So you can pick your stacks just from there real quick, but I'll boost them that way based on ownership. So I'll say, hey, I don't like that guy. I'll take him down. We kind of, Smitty and I cheat the system that way.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. And also looks like there were some answers to Agnes' question in the chat. So
thanks, Brad. But I didn't know. Some people might be listening on podcasts afterwards. So wanted to show them. So I'll let Mike let us keep running back here.
Okay.
Let's take a quick DFS break real quick, and let's go to the weekly because I'm super proud of Mike here. So this came from me coming to Mike. Saying, hey, I think I'm going to take this off for a sec. I'll just be honest. I think Mike has special sauce that a lot of guys in the industry just don't have. I'm absolutely biased to this, but guys, I have access to everybody's projections. I pay for everybody's because I want to see what everybody's doing, right? I spend a lot of money every year to look at everybody's, and I can go anywhere I want. I'm independent, but I'm here because Mike's the man at this. Like I'm just going to boost his head a little bit here. Same with Smitty. Smitty can go anywhere he wants. Smitty can pull projections from anybody he wants to. And right, like we're playing every day, guys. We're not just there, but we want to help you. So right, like while you don't get to see the back end, one of the things I'll talk about is Mike really understands too how to exploit matchups versus bullpens, guys, especially now as bullpens become more and more prevalent as we saw last year. The way we're able to expose that is a really big difference. So I came to Mike and said, hey, I need you to build something really like cool for me and give us something that's better. Because in the NFC, right, which is if you want to play for the big bucks and season long, guys, you're playing at the NFC, right? So you can go to 5x5 roto now. You can pick pitchers, hitters, the intervals, from Monday through Thursday, Friday through Sunday, daily, weekly. And this is all here. And you can see now we have a matchup rating there, right? So this week, a little different with the short week. We'll go pitchers, right? Like as far as ratings goes, right? And we'll start looking at their matchup and we can look at, hey, this is who has it this week. And you get a rating so like, hey, here's your guys I want to start in a 12 team, who I want to start in a 15 team. You can look at who their matches are against. Okay, hey, AJ gets to go against Martin Perez. Like, Perez isn't that great a pitcher. And this player rater over here, guys, so this is going to adjust all the time throughout the season. So if a young guy's starting to get good, his number's going to go up, right? Ober's 67 now. I bet Ober's in the high 70s, low 80s by 4 weeks from now, just because I think he's going to come out the gate real strong. But I'm super proud of this. One of the cool things Jeff Zimmerman asked for was being able to export, hitters, the pitchers, all of that. You can export it now. If you guys are playing at Yahoo, you can use it. If you guys are playing at ESPN, you can use it. If you're playing at Fantrax, and we even added CBS. And if you're playing at CBS, quit. Go play somewhere else. Like, just don't play at CBS anymore. Like, the ESPN also has the worst UX in the history of the world because they don't change it. But, going back to the NFC, guys, there's really been one game in town, and they're great at what they do, but we have all the data to show the projections, and I wanted to shout that out to Mike there. So you'd see his pretty face. I'm going to let him talk about this real quick, and then we'll get back to some DFS. Mike, guide me through what you want to show here.
I think that was kind of it. That was on this page here. I thought you meant back on this page.
For our season-long fans.
Yeah. So kind of like what I mentioned with the odds board, this is going to evolve as well. This is brand new. I didn't start this until I think the end of January, first part of February. So this is really kind of just out of the oven. There's a lot of work here yet to do. As Trevor mentioned, you got 12-team leagues and 15-team leagues. They have different needs and desires and how they want to manage their rosters, their free agents, that type of thing. I'm going to be working on NFC league sync, so you can import your teams and your leagues for free agents and that type of stuff. So look for that here soon. I don't know what soon means, but it's at the top of my list, and just got to kind of juggle that with a number of other things that come up. So I do see that weekly projections really kind of evolving as well. And then in addition to that, we have the weekly schedule, which is also going to evolve. This was also brand new. So these things were kind of done somewhat concurrent with each other. That page does take a second or two or five to load, but it's got some really useful information on there. So you can quickly see like what teams are facing which pitchers for that given time frame. The ratings, as Trevor pointed out on that previous page, so you can see like the aggregated lineup rating, the starting pitcher rating, the bullpen rating, all color coded, so you can kind of give it just a quick eyeball look and say, okay, I see some greens here, I see a lot of reds here. Maybe I need to drill into that and make some informed decisions based on that information. So again, this is also going to evolve out as well, so we can see the matchups going out, 2 weeks in advance or possibly even longer. It's always tough to predict starting pitchers and probables and whatnot, but I will do my best to make this as usable as possible.
Awesome. And then for those of you that are new here to us, we have articles all the time. Smitty and I are putting out articles, 5 to 7 days a week, and it's a lot of times 7 days a week. So Smitty has his opening day up. I'm right behind, and this is free this week, and so to show you. So you'll be able to go in, right, click on the article. You'll get the opening day breakdown, right? Smitty's breaking down, his article here, some of his pitchers he likes. And I'm not going to show the stacks because guess what? You got to log into the site to go see them because it's free. You don't even have to pay right now. But there's, that's there. So we'll have our articles through there all the time. But Smitty and I teased, that we both really like Detroit today. And I will say this: last season, when Smitty and I don't talk before, because we want to see where we come in at. When Smitty and I land on the same stacks, we tended to have really good days at MoonShots last season.
Yep.
So
yeah, you mentioned the word free. Trevor, I want to also point out that the site's wide open, 100% free through Monday night. Tuesday morning, the regular season prices go into effect. So the early bird pricing is gone. You'll have regular pricing for a yearly plan. If you want to sign up for a year, it'll be obviously an increased rate over the early bird. There'll be weekly plans, recurring. There'll be a monthly recurring plan, and even a daily day pass if you just want to check things out. With that said, the site is always free. So there's always a free plan, and you have access to every tool on the site. You're limited in what data you can see and use on the site if you're on the free plan. So a lot of the things you saw today, like the projections or the odds board or the range of outcomes, you'll have access to all of that if you want to stay on a free plan, but you won't get all of the games or all the players and all of the data. But at least you'll get to experience like what the tools can do for you. So if you decided you wanted to pony up some money for the full access, it's up to you. But appreciate it.
Yep. And our Discord's free. We do have a paid area, but you can come into the Discord. You will learn a lot about playing daily fantasy, about sports betting, about season long. We have some really, really sharp members that are really good players.
We had a live final guy last year. We had a guy that went to the DK live final.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm excited this year. I'm not, I get to play all the time now. For those that don't know, a little background on where we are, Mike's in Minnesota, Smitty's down in Arkansas, and my wife and I have an RV, and we've been traveling the U.S. for the last year and a half, but we really wanted to go to the national parks last year. So I was stuck in Utah and Idaho where I couldn't really play for quite a few months of the season. We are not doing that this year. We are going to friendly states, right? I'm right next to Florida right now. We're going to Tennessee from here. We're going to be in states that I can play this year. I'm not going through that this season. So I'm excited there. So one of the things we would be known for and we wouldn't do is we got to give you guys a moonshot here. Right? Like it wouldn't be moonshots if we didn't give you one. And I'm going to let Mike lead off with his moonshot of the day.
Sure. Yeah. It's Brandon Lowe against Jose Barrios. I don't think I need to say anything more there. Barrios versus lefties, traditionally not great, but I like Brandon Lowe in the spot today. He will go deep.
Ooh, will go deep. He'll heard it here.
Deep, or the site he'll go deep, or I'll leave the site free all weekend. How's that?
I like it. And that's, you heard, Smitty talk about, attacking some one-offs. That's a good spot, right? To attack a one-off there. Smitty, give me your moonshot here.
I really like the Brandon Lowe one. I'm going to go with a red, and it's going to be Jake Fraley.
All right. Why you like Jake today?
Let's see. I was digging into it earlier. Hold on. He's going to be in the middle of the lineup. When I checked earlier, he was one of the top ROI home run bets.
Yep. Yeah, he's batting fifth today.
Now I lost it.
Yep, he's batting fifth today, so I like it. I like where they have him in the lineup. So I agree. Well, we're sticking with the Reds. It's just too hard not to go today with who they got, right? And mine, I will make it an official bet on top of Nick Martinez. We're going with one of my favorite season-long players this year, Will Benson. Will's batting second. I love it. Like his ROI on this, there's a ton of value here. So let's show this here, right? So let's go back, right? Like we'll go to, the odds board here. Right. So you can look at, hey, one of the things I'm looking at here is this is some of the odds in there, right? Strikeouts, range of outcomes, those type of things. Right. But as we start going to home runs, right, here's one of the cool things is we can filter it on ROI. Right. So we can go in and say, hey, who's got the most ROI today? Right. And that's based on, value and all of that. Fraley is one of the top guys. I loved his Fraley pick. I like Benson in here. And let me show why, right? So I'll reference Caesars a lot, right? Caesars is plus 375 today. You get them for 470 FanDuel, guys. That's 100 points of value. That is a ton of value. So my bets are about to come out. I wanted to talk about here on the show. I'm going to have some K props today. I'm going to have some hitter K props today. We're going to have a nutso. I will have a small, little tiny for the degenerates in you ladder and parlay, just because you guys will string me up if we don't. Because you'll see bets from me every day, no matter what. That's kind of one of the things I feel like my strength is. So as we finish up here, Smitty, give me one surprise in the slate today. What's one surprise for you?
Oh, by the way, I found the Jake Fraley. Why I liked him so much is because he has.
Let's break it down.
He has a 450 ISO against the slider, which is Josiah Gray's highest usage pitch to lefties.
Yep. Yeah, right. So that's where, for you guys, Mike was just showing, you can break that down in the site, guys. Hey, he's got a 450 ISO. Sign me up. Like I'll probably go make Fraley official too with it, just because of that, right? I haven't done it Fraley yet, but that's a great number to look at.
But as far as my surprise, let's see. I'm going to go with the Yankees get to Framber Valdez.
Ooh, bold take. Smitty go with the ball. I like the bold take today.
And I'd go with the Yankees to beat the Astros.
Ooh, out of the gate. Oh, going with the evil empire out of the gate. He's a Raiders fan. It makes sense.
Yep.
So, and in case you are aware, I'm a Niners fan, so we're supposed to not get along there. In case you guys don't follow me a ton on social, I'm kind of obnoxious during football season. What are you excited about today, Mike? Who's a surprise for you today?
I'll be surprised if something doesn't go wrong on the site, which usually happens on opening day. But no, I don't know if I have any surprises for the slate today. I mean, I'm hoping that the Reds and Nats, it's an offensive game, like we're all kind of hoping and expecting, but that could be a surprise where we know guys coming out of the gate, especially hitters coming out. We might see some low scoring games today, but I don't know. I'm surprised MLB didn't put more games up closer to the noon hour than what they did today. And the rainouts didn't help.
We could So Mike was terrified he was going to have double headers out of the gate, which is a giant pain for him. Fortunately, they did buffer those Fridays in there. So that's a surprise there for them. One of the ones I think could be really interesting today is my bold take is I'm going to go with Zach Geloff goes off against Better Believer in their bullpen today. I think he has a good game tonight. It's late on the West Coast. He's got a good ISO against the pitches Bieber throws. So I like Geloff today for a late play on a one-off. I think that one will be interesting. And I also don't think enough people are talking about the Diamondbacks tonight. They get Kyle Freeland. I'll be interested to see where ownership starts going. But right, they're moderately priced. And don't be shocked to see Gurry have a good day. He's got a good XW Woba against lefties. So we'll be in Discord all day. We'll be around, guys. I got to go finish my article. We thank you for tuning in, having hundreds of live viewers for our first show. We really appreciate it. You won't get to see Mike's pretty face all the time. He's going to come on as much as he can, but we need to keep him in the slave room grinding on that data for us. Smitty and I are going to put out as much as we can. So you guys know kind of content breakdown. We'll have articles each day. I'm going to have a recap each morning, 4 to 6 days a week now. I'm gonna have a quick recap show that'll podcast form. That'll be up and early because I'm an early riser, so we'll have that. Smitty and like I said, Smitty and I are going to try to do this breakdown show. It's going to vary at times, guys, depending upon the slate and work schedule. But we're going to try to do these streams as much as we can, whether it's both of us, one of us. And don't forget about Dan. You saw Dan drop his stuff yesterday, so Dan's around as well. We'll try to get 3 of us on at once. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And the one thing I would ask is huge for little guys like us, guys. Your thanks to us for everything being free right now is like the posts, like the Twitter feeds, like the YouTube feeds. Give us some comments. Just give us a little bit of shout out, guys. That's your currency to us.
We like really the likes, but we really love the retweets or the reposts.
Yeah, we love everybody. Like, even if you say, hey, I only have 80 followers on our account. I don't really use Twitter, but to take, and it's Twitter. I'm old. I ain't changing to X. So I really like that side, and but we really appreciate it. And Mike, any last parting words?
No, again, thank you for everyone that's joined to the site. There's a lot of newcomers, so I hope you like what you see. Again, give me your critiques, the good, bad, the ugly. I want a good experience for you and everyone. And also, I guess maybe a not so shameless plug. If you like the uniform I'm wearing today, there's different flavors of the shirt plus some other swag. Go visit moonshotsmerch.com. Help support what we're doing here. And like Trevor said, we're small. We've been a well-kept secret for a while. I think we need to change that. We've got some good stuff going on here. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you very much, guys. And let's go have a great opening day.
All right. See you.